In this modern history, it has been my privilege and pleasure, as you know, to travel this world quite a few times, meeting some of the great spiritual lights, some of the mystics, some of those who are known and some of those who will never be publicly known. Always it is the same thing. Having attained that grace, they are the leaders for groups that surround them. We know today, for we have seen this now in the past 75 years, that wherever the Spirit of God enters the consciousness of an individual, he is set free, at least to some extent, from the inequalities of this world, the lacks, the limitations, the sins, the diseases, the desires. And even a grain of God realization is sufficient to set us apart from most of the world's miseries. What 2 grains would do remains yet to be seen. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Do you think for a moment that this is an idle statement? Do you think that this is merely a quotation or a cliche? This is a spiritual principle. This is a principle of life. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Where is the Spirit of the Lord? Where it's realized. You might say, truthfully, that it fills all space. Indeed it does, but so did electricity before it was hooked up into electric lights and electric power and everything else. God does fill all space, but the activity of God is where God is realized. In the consciousness of those who live in the Word and let the Word live in them, and we have authority for that. If you do not live in this Word and do not let this Word live in you, you will be as a branch of the tree that is cut off and withereth. And let no man think that the human race isn't that branch that is cut off and withereth. That is that part of the human race that is not living in the Word and letting the Word live within them. Only in the abiding in this spiritual realization is one connected with the vine and the tree. The 15th chapter of John is the summary of the entire mystical life of man and contains the entire secret of man's harmonious, immortal, and eternal life even on earth. If you abide in this Word, if you let me abide in you, you will bear fruit richly. For you are the branch, and I am the vine, and God is the tree. If you do not keep this Word, God, in your forehead, on your arm, and on your doorstep, you will be as a branch of the tree that is cut off and withereth. You will live a life of chance, a life that today is called a statistic. Everybody has become a statistic. We all know where we can go and find out how much longer we're going to live, and what our chances are of an accident. We are statistics. Spiritual man is not a statistic. The man who has the Word of God abiding in him is not a statistic. He is a son of God living under the grace of God. Pray without ceasing. But don't pray for food or clothing or housing or companionship or money or employment. It profiteth you nothing. And don't pray nearly as much for your friends as you do for your enemies. For it profiteth you nothing to pray for your friends, but if you pray for your enemies, you become sons of God. Pray for your enemies that ye may be the sons of God.